Kia ora koto. This is Furkan and me outside for our final Who's Right. And I'm looking forward to getting your feedback on this one, because this is actually something I've been thinking about a lot and having cool chats with Furkan about it. And so I mentioned earlier in one of these things that I've been thinking about what humanity needs to go and live in space. And I don't just mean go and survive for a while, but how could you make a home on Mars or make a home on the asteroid belt? So in my earlier work, I said we don't want too much we don't want radical enhancement. We don't want too much change, because it's beautiful being human. But if we're to survive in space, and I think maybe we should go there, because, sorry, we're making a bit of a mess of the Earth with all of our human nastiness. But if we're to survive in space, we need to radically enhance some aspects of ourselves, because otherwise you can't stay in space for long before you have to come back to Earth. So my new view is radical enhancement for space. But one of the features that I'm hoping to cover, and I've got a really smart guy here called Furkan, is to basically have a good friend like Furkan and have them challenge your view and really listen to what they say. So Furkan, tell me I'm full of shit.
Hi Nick, you're full of shit. Yes, so...
That's rude. Yeah, you're out of this course now.
All right.
I was joking.
Yes, I know that there's some kind of confusions about my name, and I just don't want to tell you what it is, because it can be whatever you decide. That's how it is, right? So I think we shouldn't be radically enhanced to go to space. Instead, what should we do, Nick, is create enhanced robots and send them to the space to prepare the space for us, or replicate our consciousness into this enhanced robots, and then when our human body dies, we can just live infinitely. I think that's a really better option, because if we radically enhance ourselves, are we human anymore? Like, what's the point of radically enhancing ourselves if we're not going to be human anymore? Because we will not be surviving as a human, but as a cyborg. So I'm a bit confused about that.
Well, hey, what's your problem with cyborgs? I mean, it's like, can't we live in space? I mean, if you just want to send machines, well, we already do that. And I mean, you might say, well, let's send conscious machines. And I liked your appeal to consciousness there. And by the way, if you talk to philosophers, they're confused about what consciousness is. So how different is that from just, let's send some machines and see how they go? So that's kind of a future in which I guess we live on an increasingly polluted Earth while we send robots. I want us to survive as humans in space, but I know that we can't survive like this. I mean, this doesn't work. If I try to just basically spacewalk and say, I'm just going to see how cold it is, I'm instantly dead. So we need radical enhancements, and it would be interesting. I wonder, if I was to ask you what radical enhancements we most need, what would you choose? So yeah, maybe send the robots, but let's send the robots to prepare for us. I'd be curious to hear your thoughts, Furkan.
Yes, thank you very much. So I think when you say that we can send the robots to prepare ourselves, but there's also risks on that in the sense that what if we die here? What if the world would not survive until then, because we don't know when we're going to get that technology, because we're predicting that we will get that technology. I've been saying we can put our consciousness into a robot, but would that still be us? As you said, philosophers are confused about consciousness. I mean, but the problem I have with cyborgs is that I don't think after you're radically enhanced, you're not a human anymore, because we're not talking about radical enhancement in the sense that flying or super jump or super fast running or anything like that. We're talking about changing how we breathe, or we're talking about putting mechanic organs into our body to let us breathe in space or stuff like that. So I think if we were to accept ourselves as not humans anymore with that conditions, yes, I'm on board to do that. But if we still want to stay human, I think we still cannot do it, because I think if we become cyborgs, we wouldn't be feeling and experiencing the world as human beings.
Okay, so I like that, but I hope, and this is a thing where basically Furkan and I, it's kind of a mad conversation, and that's what's good about it. So I've really enjoyed meeting your characters, and some of your characters are slightly mad, but we need a bit of madness because we're speculating about a really crazy future. We're wondering what changes we could make to ourselves to survive in space. And it's like, I mean, really, who knows? But that's exactly where we need to put our imaginations, our human imaginations, at work. So I would love to, if you were to write about it, if your characters were to write about it, to actually, for you to speculate in an imaginative way about the changes we might need. What would it be? I mean, what would it be to be a human inhabitant on Mars? And I will basically end it by saying, if you think that Elon Musk knows how we will have to change ourselves to survive on Mars, you are deadly wrong. He has no idea. He's got too much money and too much anger to care about what it would be to be a human inhabitant of Mars. So anyway, I look forward to finding out who's right, Nick or Furkan.